Welcome, everybody, to the Autonomy Unlimited AI Tools of the Week. I'm back. I was in Texas last week, and that was a fun story. There was a behind the scenes movie that I created that you can check out in the description below. But this episode is going to be talking about some of the new cutting edge AI tools and processes available to us now. And it's a wild world, man. It keeps getting wilder and crazier. Some news that I just saw was Tesla's brain chip. I forget the name of it right now. Just got FDA approval, so that's going to be like a thing now. Somebody with a handicap that couldn't move their legs down below is now walking because of AI headgear that's monitoring his brain and simulating movement down below. So that's the world. That's the current world that we're in. Some other big things that just happened that's noteworthy. The massive competition between Google and Chat GPT and Bing. That's all happening. And apparently, and I really had to like sit with this. Bing and Microsoft and ChatGPT have teamed up, and ChatGPT just released a browser extension. I showcased that last week, so it now has web capabilities. And I guess the model wasn't that great, and so they basically just team up and bring Bing into ChatGPT, and so they're essentially one and the same. I knew they were working together. And I just saw a video that Windows 11 is about to release a big update that has AI integrated into Windows. Sounds a little scary, but also very helpful. You're going to be able to get like a chat bot to be able to talk to configure your whole Windows, find settings, fix things. It can execute code and script within Windows for you. So, I mean, we're already using these tools. I'm already using these tools. And so this is going to make things a whole lot easier to continue to use Windows. But I think we're on a really wild, water park slide, and things are going really fast. I'd love to bring up some of my co-hosts today. We got Stephanie and Leah and a whole host of autonomy students that are going to be joining us for today's discussion. Do you guys want to say hi real quick?
Hi, Joshua. Hi, everybody. Good to see you.
Excellent. Leah has some fun topics. Stephanie?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. So first off, I want to showcase a couple fun things. This is a site called Human or Not. You can chat with someone for 2 minutes and try to figure out if they're a human or an AI bot. This is worth testing out. I also threw this into the autonomy community last week. This is a real or AI image comparison. So you can try and pick the real photo. I was able to get 5 out of 5 last time, but I imagine this is going to get more and more difficult, like month by month, as these things continue to grow in their. Ooh, I got one of them wrong. With that being said, I was looking for the example that I had, but I came across this sales AI bot service. And I was testing it out for just trying it out on autonomy, but it basically will create a chat bot for you that will, you feed it information, you feed it your websites, and you can feed it documents pertaining to, about your business. So the more data you feed it, the more, it has to work with. But it's basically as a sales bot to, answer questions, be helpful, provide value, and then direct them to an outcome, the next step in, either purchasing, or for autonomy, it's taking the obstacle course. You can hear from Richard, more about what the value of autonomy is. So I was starting to play around with it and it looked pretty fascinating. But Stephanie, you came across one of these and you want to describe your interaction with it?
Yeah, so I went to a 3-day challenge for learning how to design marketing funnels. And as part of that, they would have Facebook Messenger conversations with you, but they also had this bot that I'll show you. And so here's the bot, and I'll go up to the beginning of our conversation. Um, so, it's like several days, so this is going to be quite a bit. And so, it asks you how you want to interact on some instances. And then it's got a little emoji when I said, yes, text me. And that was a choice. I didn't type out, yes, text me. It gave me a couple options. It's super easy. You just tap the way you want to answer. And then there were some options where you could enter information. So it just kind of automates this. And then it gives you access to this dashboard. So if you've got like a Facebook group or a dashboard for your challenge, then this bot can handle all those resources and give them to your prospects. So, it's telling me when the next challenge live is, and then how to get like the workbook that they had associated with it. So this is what I really liked, is that when it was time for one of the live challenge meetings, then I could go to the Facebook group where they were doing a Facebook Live of it. Oh, yeah. And then they had this option that they would audit your funnels if you had any. So that was an option. Go to your dashboard where everything is, get your workbook, post a selfie. I didn't do that. And then these ones would all have a link to join it
It looks
on
very
the
convenient
Zoom.
to be able to know where everything is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then there was like secret. If you stayed to the end of the presentation and heard the secret word, then you get to tell Melly, the bot, what the secret word was, and then you get some goodies. So it's just like ways that they increase engagement.
Wild. I was creating Facebook bots about 4 years ago, and
What?
it was all manual to where you had to have an answer for every reply. But I imagine now it's just gone, you know, wild where it can just handle anything that you throw at it and still deliver the call to actions.
Well, yeah, in this team, they were trying to sell people on their products like this. They've got their own software that they work with High Ticket to create. I'm looking for Zoom so I can stop the screen share. There we go.
Custom
And
bots.
yeah, and they've got more. They've got like 2 or 3 different ones, and I don't remember what they all did.
Wow. Wild.
Yeah,
All right.
it really
Well,
increased my engagement at least.
yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's this is going to be a whole new industry, and I think just about every website will have an interactive chatbot to be able to. It's actually gonna. We're moving into the phase where it's actually super helpful, like you said, an enjoyable experience instead of just trying to talk to a robot that can't understand a wide variety of what you're talking about. So this week, I watched this fantastic tutorial by Matt Wolf on creating viral videos. If you remember, a couple weeks ago, I shared like a Lord of the Rings AI video and by Wes Anderson in the style of Wes Anderson. Well, he walks through how to actually make these things for yourself, and so I got to play around with these tools and the process, and came up with this.
Are you ready to unlock your true potential? Introducing Autonomy, the life-changing online course that will ignite your drive, focus your goals, and transform your mindset. With Autonomy, you'll break free from the chains of schooling by identifying the damage it has done to us. So what are you waiting for? Shed those limiting beliefs and gain the confidence you need to reach true liberation. Sign up today.
Initial response. from our audience? What do you guys think of that?
Not everybody knows John Taylor Gatto. It's a good start.
I wasn't sure how I felt. I was like, I kind of like, at first when I saw it, I was like, oh no, it's an AI Gotto. And I kind of groaned. But then I was like, well, it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if it's like disrespectful to him or not,
I think there's a novelty with it where it's at right now because it's obvious that it's not real. And so it's a little bit fun. 6 months, a year from now, it might not be so obvious. And I would have different feelings about it at that point than what just transpired. I thought that was pretty novel of using it. Any other comments on there? So how I accomplished this was using 11 labs to feed it one of John Taylor Gatto's presentations. Just a video I found on YouTube. You really only need like 1 to 2 minutes long of somebody's voice, and then 11 labs can replicate that voice, and then you do a text prompt into that, and it will then read in the voice of what you want. So that's how I got the audio of that. And then after I had the audio, then I went to the service called d-id.com. And this is basically, it has a whole host of people built into it, or you can upload your own images. So you can see here, you can create a video, and then you can start with all these generic people or add your own photo. So then I was able to add a photo of John Taylor Gotto, and from there add the audio from the previous. Okay, this is where my actual video was. And then add your audio right there. There we go. And I tried this fixed picture at first, but then because he wasn't looking at the screen, it really looked artificial with him trying to like move his head dramatically. And so this one worked better because his eyes were already locked on the camera, and was a bit more, better to look at. But pretty powerful, lots of applications for this. I'm toying around with like possibly creating a simple course, and just having, one of these people talk and see if knowledge transfer can happen, without me actually being the course author. So I'm going to be playing around with this more in the future. Right. Couple more cool tools to show, and then I'd love to hear from Leah about what she's been thinking about recently. So this is called Gamma.app, a new medium for presenting ideas. Really, it's kind of creating PowerPoint videos that are text driven. So you tell it what you want it to build, and then it will create images and outlines for a presentation that looks really, stellar. And check this out, right? So once it creates this initial prompt, then you can change the look and the feel, like by text communicating to it. And look how easy that looks to, find a style and something that fits what you're looking for. And then you just go through and, it has text suggestions for content even. So I'm excited to have a reason to play around for this. I might try this in my upcoming course I'm working on, which is in the autonomy community. I just brought on 5 beta entrepreneurs to help them take their idea and set up an online business with a checkout in using AI tools. My goal is to create a 14-day challenge where once you have an idea you can take this 14-day challenge and be able to, walk through the process of setting up a business, branding, your website, and then marketing and get a checkout. I have some really great tools and process to streamline that. And then once you're up with your business and have your website and, you start throwing some traffic at it, that's really when you spend the next year to refine, your messaging, your branding, and get everything going. But I know a big hurdle for a lot of entrepreneurs is just getting started, just getting yourself up and out there so that you can begin that refining process. And I want to remove that obstacle for people. So I'm hoping to launch that course in July after I get done with the beta entrepreneurs here in this next month. But I know it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be a big help for people to be able to, get over those obstacles. All right, Leah, I know you've been thinking about something. What would you like to talk about this week?
Yeah, okay. All right. So what I'd like to talk about is the regulation of AI. World governments are formulating regulations for the use of AI technology to mitigate what they consider to be existential threats to humanity. They're citing possibilities that it could be used for discriminatory or nefarious practices, such as hiring and firing people, manipulating elections, or determining pre-crime, like in Minority Report. But is that the real threat that world governments are afraid of? All right. Regulation sets the stage for withholding technology that could be used to progress human freedom. AI can disenfranchise the monopoly of government control over things like energy resources. AI is a small drip of what already exists out there and is being withheld. There's a lot of technology that's being withheld from humanity. And world government wants to control the application of the technology to ensure that it does not create energy freedom, just like energies that run on water, crystal energy, etheric energy, and any other occulted technology that could create a power differential for humanity. So we should use the AI to formulate free energy technology. We can use it to replicate the work of Nikola Tesla or reconstruct the star city energy grids of the old world. Think about the power of AI and what we can use it to formulate, including solutions for all the suffering of humanity. The power is in this technology. Okay, so using the AI to create solutions for human freedom unregulated is a human right. For that reason, AI technology is an existential threat to the powers that be. They have no right to regulate anything. They don't have the right to exist. World government doesn't have the right to exist. Do I have the right to regulate your use of AI? That right doesn't exist for me. How can that right exist for someone else or be delegated to a government or a group? It cannot be. All right. So the right to regulate AI does not exist. Sorry, the right to regulate AI does not exist for government or any other entity or being. And you have the responsibility to use it morally. And you can do anything you want with it so long as you don't create harm for others. So use the AI to just rediscover this technology, invent new technologies, and use it for the progression of human freedom. All right. All human moral interactions are voluntary. All immoral human actions are based on coercion and violence, and nobody can regulate your use of AI. All right. So use it for the good of humanity.
Here, here. And I'm working on a document. Stephanie's helping me clean it up, but it's the Ethical Entrepreneur's Guide to AI. Recently, there was someone who shared in the Autonomy Forum about oh, what was the topic? Remember the name of that article, Steph, on hand?
I don't.
I got it. Declaration of Ethics for Artificial Intelligence. So adhering to what Leah was talking about, right? Basically, the non-aggression principle applied to AI and how humans interact with it. I agree with you, Leah, that the circus show that was just paraded in DC was you know them begging for the government to create regulations, but we know that the military and they've had this technology before the public release and rollout of this. So it totally feels like just trying to get the reaction from the government. I mean, from the people that we need government to save us from this technology and not, what's behind the curtain and already being developed and used in order to tighten the control over humanity.
Yeah, and think about the potential. If you can get the AI to code a website in 10 seconds, imagine what it could do if you started to apply it to discovering technologies that could, create free energy, create solutions for things like for an example, a lot of times people try to figure out how do we structure the world if we don't have a government, right? People want to peel up the corners of the principles. But what if we asked the AI to create these structures? We would at least start to maybe get some progress or insight or more ideas. If it's good enough to be able to formulate all these other things, then let's use it for things that we really need it for. Extract the best parts of it, apply it, and change our world with it. It's an incredibly powerful tool, right? So get to work, people.
There is a peaceful, co-creative path through all of this that we can aim for. And I think it's, our job to aim for that kind of outcome. Thanks, Leah, for the food for thought. I look forward to checking y'all out next week. Again, this is just super surface level of all these great AI tools coming out that can help empower entrepreneurs and the freedom movement to be able to make sure there's freedom for our kids in the future. Thanks all for joining us. Subscribe and share this with your friends, and make sure to tune in next week for our next episode. See you then.